Imagine a dream life: private jets, luxurious yachts, high-end cars, and exclusive parties. This was how Aram Sheibani lived. He presented himself as a successful investor, a business genius whose image on social media was pure opulence. But this fantasy life was a lie. Every luxury, every ostentation was funded by a dark empire. He was an international drug lord, a criminal whose fortune was built on suffering. His dream was, in reality, a nightmare about to crumble. Aram Sheibani's story began in 1986, when he arrived in the UK as an Iranian refugee. His ambition quickly outpaced his origins. His criminal career did not begin with drugs, but with a keen eye for the real estate business. In his 20s, he took advantage of the booming market, buying and selling properties in the UK and Spain. This real estate empire was a sophisticated front. Sheibani falsified income and documents to secure mortgages and loans, even using third parties to acquire properties that he later transferred to his name. This complex network sought to complicate and frustrate law enforcement and launder his illicit wealth, making it almost impossible to trace the origin of his funds. Between 1999 and 2010, he only declared income on 5 occasions, without justifying his vast wealth. His fortune came from untraceable cash deposits and mysterious transfers from abroad, laying the groundwork for his dangerous criminal enterprise. The judge who sentenced him stated that Sheibani started his criminal life by exploiting the property boom, and the money he generated in his 20s funded his foray into international drug dealing. This shows a calculated progression. Real estate fraud and money laundering were his testing ground to accumulate capital and sharpen his deception skills, scaling up to a much more lucrative and dangerous international drug operation. This highlights how financial crimes can be stepping stones to more complex crimes. The use of forged documents and the employment of third parties to buy properties demonstrate a deep understanding of financial systems and a deliberate strategy to create layers of obfuscation. He not only hid money, but built a false financial identity to legitimize his gains, a challenge for investigators who must unravel multiple levels of deception. Under the image of the successful investor, Aram Sheibani led a large-scale international drug conspiracy. It was no minor operation, but a vast network spanning continents. His connections were direct and effective. He was close to the very source of production in Colombia, the epicenter of cocaine manufacturing. His trips to that country in 2013, disguised as leisure, were for investigative purposes in his deadly business. He was not just a distributor, he was a drug processor. Police raids revealed tools for cocaine production, to 30-ton industrial presses, vacuum packaging bags, and acetone. A video on his phone even showed a similar press in action in a cocaine laboratory. His empire extended throughout the UK and Europe, including Belgium, the Netherlands, and Spain, controlling a network of other unknown individuals under his control. The colossal profits from this illicit trade funded his extravagant lifestyle. His wealth included a £5 million property portfolio, £1.2 million in cash, and £1.5 million in cryptocurrency. To evade detection, Sheibani used cutting-edge technology, military-grade encrypted phones Encro, and iron key USB devices, designed for undetectable communications. Every aspect of his luxurious life, his apartment in Bowden, his collection of Bentleys, Porsches, and a Mercedes, his yacht parties in Ibiza, his cosmetic surgeries, and his collection of Banksy and Warhol art, was a direct manifestation of his hidden criminal wealth. Sheibani's role as a drug processor demonstrates total control of the supply chain, from origin in Colombia to processing, which increased his profit margins. His investigative trips to Colombia suggest meticulousness in optimizing the entire process, showing a highly sophisticated and dangerous criminal organization. This made him a significant threat to public safety, directly involved in the creation of the harmful substances he distributed. His flaunting of properties, cars, art, and cosmetic surgeries was not just for show. These assets were active mechanisms for money laundering and wealth storage. Converting illicit money into tangible or digital assets made it difficult to trace their origin. His lavish lifestyle was an integral part of his criminal strategy to hide and increase his illicit gains while maintaining his deceptive public image. This intricate puzzle was solved by the dedicated detectives and financial investigators of the Greater Manchester Police, who brought Sheibani's hidden empire to light. Despite his encrypted phones and attempts to destroy them, police exposed his criminal activity through other electronic devices, bank records, and online purchase accounts, as well as by tracing his cryptocurrencies. This demonstrates that even tech-savvy criminals leave digital trails. His refusal to provide passwords, while an attempt to obstruct, served as an admission of guilt. This highlights the changing nature of criminal investigations, where digital forensics and financial tracing are crucial, warning that anonymity for large-scale crimes is increasingly difficult. Police statements describe Sheibani as someone who believes he is above the law and whose greed knows no bounds. His flaunting of wealth and frantic attempts to destroy evidence suggest an overconfidence that led him to critical mistakes. This arrogance caused him to underestimate the persistence of law enforcement, contributing to his downfall. This reinforces the theme that criminal arrogance is often their Achilles heel, demonstrating that even the most cunning can be undone by their own sense of invincibility and flaws like greed. After a 10-week trial, Aram Sheibani was found guilty of 20 counts of fraud, money laundering, and drugs. His facade crumbled. In June 2021, he was sentenced to a staggering 37 years in prison. The judge, Anthony Cross KC, condemned him with a simple, "Your greed knows no bounds," a sentence that will keep him behind bars until he is almost 80 years old. But justice did not end there. In April 2024, a Proceeds of Crime Act (POCA) hearing was the final act to strip him of his gains. He was ordered to repay £3,408,369.67. The message was clear. His criminal wealth would not be his. The consequence of non-payment was severe. An additional 10 years to his already long sentence if he failed to pay within 3 months. Ensuring justice's financial control. The 37-year sentence is significant, but the £3.5 million confiscation order and the threat of an additional 10 years highlight a key law enforcement strategy. As Detective Superintendent Andy Buckthorpe stated, "Our investigations don't stop once you are behind bars. Our financial investigators will go for every penny you have earned." This indicates a comprehensive approach, removing criminals from society and dismantling their financial infrastructure, eliminating the primary incentive for organized crime. The confiscated funds will be reinvested into community initiatives for the benefit of local people. This detail is critical, bringing the impact of crime full circle. It transforms Sheibani's negative actions into tangible benefits for the damaged communities, making them safer for local people and more hostile for criminals. Aram Sheibani's story is a chilling modern fable. From an Iranian refugee, he became a millionaire crime boss commanding a vast international criminal empire. building a life of unimaginable luxury that was snatched away, leaving him imprisoned, with his wealth confiscated. His downfall is a stark reminder of the devastating impact of greed and dishonesty. The vast profits he amassed came at an immense cost. The damage and destruction this trade causes to our communities through the spread of class drugs. The message from law enforcement is unequivocal. I hope this serves as a stark warning to those involved in criminality. They will pursue every illicit penny, ensuring that crime, however sophisticated, does not pay. The final police statements emphasize the mission of making communities safer for local people and more hostile for criminals. This elevates the narrative to a broader commentary on the fight against organized crime and its societal impact. It provides hope and purpose, demonstrating that the efforts of authorities contribute to public safety. Ultimately, Aram Sheibani's story, a life built on lies and crime, however opulent, is destined to crumble, leaving only ruin and the cold price of greed. Thank you for staying until the end. Behind every video are hours of research to bring you the complete story. If you value that effort, the best way to support us is by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. See you in the next investigation.